good. I have two people I can talk to early. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I'm so sleepy. What's good with it? What is good with it? I am going to. I don't like being repetitive, so I'm gonna stop doing that. That's never my jish. I just think you tend to have to repeat yourself because people act like they don't understand English or they don't want to understand English or they want to paint shit a certain way and stuff like that. And it causes you to be repetitive. Did I ate yesterday? All right, what's the day? I ate yesterday. Um, so do you know, and I put this on my wall, but this is logic, that when you are a dummy, your lies are gonna be dumb too. Do you know that? Sometimes when you are a liar, not sometimes, pretty much all the time, when you a liar, your shit is going to be, you just gonna be, you're not gonna make any sense. So let me run this down for a minute. It's only gonna be a minute. Hey, Peace. Hey, Lavelle. Let me run this down. Um, and I love being me, honey. And what I mean by that, I don't um I don't have no filter, and I don't have no conscience. If I'm going, it's because you started it. You understand what I'm saying? So um, hold on. I'm sorry. 1 minute. So we we know that's right. Truth coming out your mouth and just shut up. No, I'm serious. I'm so tired of being nice. I am. It don't work for me. It don't work for me. I don't want to be cautious. I don't want to be conscious. I don't want to be courteous. I don't want to be none of that. And you just get what the hell you buy. Hell, whatever the hell you pay for, that's what you're gonna get. So I hear this motherfucking blue smurf blind ass per usual, just starting shit. And be doing it. Trying to do it in a slick way. I ain't never fooling no motherfucking body but somebody dumb enough to be fooled. You understand what I'm saying? Just starting shit. If I said the shit, then I meant it. If I meant the shit, then I can back it up. Don't make no goddamn sense to be so damn dumb. Like, when does dumb expire? Expires, like, you know what? You did yourself a motherfucking disservice, lady. First of all, you have no concept of words. And we already know that. Because that's why you make them up. You don't even know what contradiction means. You can't know. Because anybody sit up there and run down the list of shit that they don't do, but they have done it. It was on top of they lying. But you ain't talking about what somebody else did. When you talking about what somebody else have done in a negative way, and you do the same shit, you're being you are contradicting yourself. Okay, look it up, and don't forget. Don't don't include the part of speech as a part of the definition. Okay, don't do that no more with your dumb ass. I mean, conversations that we have over here or anywhere is above your motherfucking one pay grade to your goddamn level of knowledge. It's above that. You don't get it. And you try to be slick and try to mix and whatever, and it does not work because it comes out even more fucked up. Just don't. Looking like a glass of fucking blue goddamn Kool-Aid. Ridiculous. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to take this text. I'm sorry. But it's fucking it's a sinning and a goddamn shame. I would be fucking embarrassed to be so fundamentally behind when you 50 plus when it comes to simple fucking basic education. When it comes to the part of the a part of the equation when it comes to learning. That is understanding. Simple shit. But we won't get to these motherfucking lies, honey. But let's get to the funny lies. So check this out right here. I heard this blue toad throat say, don't come fucking with people. I ain't about fucking with you. Don't comment, don't remark or whatever, because that puts you in it. I can telling y'all that. So I heard this blue motherfucking liar. I know you're listening, bitch. Let me blow your spot up. Say, when she was running all around motherfucking the country and shit, spending up all her damn change, talking about she stayed at the motherfucking Fountain Blue. I almost wet my motherfucking goddamn leg. A Fountain Blue, and it's not that expensive. That's number one. But more important, you know what the Fountain Blue does? Because there's a Fountain Blue in Miami. Y'all about to see where I'm going with this. See, you got to watch the lies you perpetuate on these streets because you never know who's listening. So, the Fountain Blue is one, sometimes they are a sponsor, but definitely they're always down to be a spot for conventions and stuff like that, right? When deal with certain things or whatever, you have what? Those connects. Now, you just can't get no information for no motherfucking Fountain Blue. Anybody just can't. Ah! However, your girl, that motherfucker, I knew damn well that motherfucker wasn't standing no goddamn Fountain Blue in no motherfucking Las Vegas, nowhere. When you just stayed in a goddamn off-road ass shotgun motherfucking hotel with some nigga, and so I know goddamn well your ass ain't in no motherfucking Fountain Blue. If so, what all you had to pay? Hmm. If I ask you like that, you're taking somebody motherfucking no. Let me tell you something. Me and that credit card man, me and that policeman, don't play with me. Even me and the motherfucking goddamn Universal for don't play with me. When all I had to do is complain one time, I said, "Oh damn!" The first time I went to Miami, all I seen was crappy hotels. Now we was performing and stuff like that, and I didn't make those. I was, you know, too young to make those reservations, but I remember them because even at that young age, it still wasn't up to my standards. And all I remember, like, what the hell, And my mom always, used to tell the story about child that girl wouldn't even lay on nothing but white sheets. Okay, but I remember that, and I remember, like it is the whole. I don't like those hotels where they got the I don't like them. There's a lot of them little hotels down there. I don't like those little hotels down there. They ain't really hotel motels to me. I don't give a fuck how tall they stand, right? So hey, love faces. So Man, I be trying, honey. I be trying. It just don't work out for me. So I'm like, oh hell no! I know damn well. Child, the motherfuckers don't have no trace of her and that nigga. None of them motherfuckers. No, but yeah, but what you had to pay when you made a reservation, bitch? Just lie. And them people don't even believe them motherfucking lies either. That boy done asked, well, where the boat at? You know, ain't no motherfucking boat that he's allegedly done purchased. Where is it then? How much the insurance on the motherfucker? Stupid. Stop trying to compete with your ass. Don't compare. Stop trying to be some shit you ain't. Just because I shame you about some shit, you don't try to make some shit up because you know I'm a no, don't you? Take your ass to that Airbnb or whatever it is you got to do. Man, it's okay. And go in there and frequent those come down here and take these tours and shit. Bitch, I'm hip to the motherfucking game. For $20, you can stay here, tour this here, getting all this here. So and you can go on a little meeting, bitch. So they can try to sell you some motherfucking timeshare and shit. Tell me I'm lying. Motherfucker. Stop playing with me, bitch. You ain't spending no goddamn change, you cheap ass. You ain't got it. Shut up. Stay in your goddamn place. I'm serious. I mean, and what an insurance company gonna like really and so child, stop playing. Stop telling lies. Some people he gonna they can both on both big liars. Just lie, honey. I wish I would. Let me tell you something. There will never be a day in history. It, not not a day that if I'm gonna. This is just my logic. I'm not gonna be with somebody that makes me unhappy. I can be unhappy by my motherfucking self. I'm not gonna be with somebody that I'm doing the same or worse than I am by my damn self. That's never gonna happen. I don't even understand the logic behind that. Nobody has even ever come to me with that particular plan. That proposal has never existed in my life. I don't even understand how that works. I'm like, what it is now? Nobody even try me like that. Okay, I run my life like a business. That includes a relationship. That don't make no motherfucking sense to me. I be thinking in my head, yeah, whether you know it or not, pretty much everything's a contract. So shit come out your motherfucking mouth could be binding. Okay, definite to me. I got it honest. You crazy? And you got to give me some change back. What the fuck? I wish the fuck. Oh, huh? The motherfucker tried to steal the $10. Oh, well, I was like, hell no. Baby, I'm like, and I sit on it and be quiet. And just be quiet. Leave people the fuck alone. Like, get something for that dyslexia. Shit. Don't do no shit like that. That's embarrassing. Make me, I don't even like you, but that make me motherfucking feel sorry for you. What? I got to share cigarettes and all that goofy shit. I got time for that. I had something else to do. I'm always stirring up trying to get something going. Now she wants to be the motherfucking resolution motherfucking headquarters. Well, she called my shit a lab, remember? But now she wants to be the resolution headquarters. Just a lie. I told you she want to do that in the first place. Just a lie. La 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 la. Just disturbed. Let me tell you something, honey. There's no quick fix for what you got. I don't understand. There is nothing we can do about your package. There's not a doctor alive that can get it done. You started out behind. Instead of taking your ass in them people's schoolhouse and stand there, you took your ass to Ronnie, Bobby, Rick, and Mike. And that's what you said about me. And apparently, you know, you let one of them lay in there too long because you slow. All them youth pictures, you look slow. Slow is in your face. I'm like, this is a slow child. That's the first thing I would say if I would have seen you and if my family would have saw that. So like, oh, that's a slow child. Just look. Slow. Probably, probably saying crazy shit back then. Didn't make no damn sense. Probably had a blanking problem too. Probably one of them motherfuckers that had a blinking problem, be blinking and shit. Them blinking ass kids. Yeah, they be real fucked up sometimes. They had that blinking and shit going on. Yeah. Stay out of people's business and stop lying. Now she gonna say, which I don't understand how this works. Right now, my videos are up. If you seen me, I ain't gonna ask y'all to participate because that's how you get in shit. So I'm gonna show you how to stay out of shit. But I've been cussing out that man since 2021. Man, I do it no girl, nothing else. Just who that person is. And I was right. Since 2021. I'm saying the same thing since 2021. It's be new situations. But pretty much same behavior is the one that fuels it. Just like, why you ask me, why you talking about I'm watching the videos? Why were you watching his videos? Why was you watching mine? When you was in your motherfucking feelings about to lose your fucking mind. Hmm? I mean, why was you acting like a goddamn fool? And now you're calm. But thank God. You should have been calm when you seen with the other woman. You sound stupid. That's what the things that, yeah, I mean, y'all must be thinking I'm some fucking psychic. I got friends in place, people in place in 2020, 2021 that I'm gonna need in 2023, 24, whatever, when I got all these motherfucking enemies. Or whatever the fuck to call you motherfuckers. The fake like they not real. They real. Huh? For what? If I don't have no friends or whatever, why am I not I'm the only one not trying to collect them on YouTube. I'm very motherfucking selective. Huh? Logic. Your lies don't make no sense. Because you motherfuckers are liars. But you keep on. Now, the proof I use, don't get mad at me. You need to get your people. Get them together. Calm them down. Ain't y'all got y'all union together? Shit, don't do y'all pay union dues or y'all just go to the telephone conferences and shit and talk about my ass? Oh shit. I mean, baby, I wish I could hear the lies. Like, one day I might do a marathon on y'all motherfuckers. I don't know what the lies. I can kind of get a sense of them. Just show you, okay. Hmm? Be glad that I'm being nice, okay? And I'm not really giving a fuck. But ain't that? But that only lasts for a limited period. Don't get mad about how I motherfucking prove my motherfucking case. You prove your case, you giving motherfucking testimony, right? Did I say testimony is evidence? Okay, well, I got testimony and other motherfucking evidence. Don't get mad at me. Leave people the fuck alone and stop motherfucking lying. Go about your motherfucking business. Only you lonely motherfuckers up here uh collecting friends and family and all this shit. I mean, not everybody. So I don't want nobody to think I'm saying everybody. Okay, because that's not true. Of course, I've seen and heard you motherfuckers have somebody in your motherfucking life. So that's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm talking about the motherfuckers that's really doing it. That's acting like they not, but they are. Let me tell you something. If I wanted to be, if I was lonely, need some friends and family, I wouldn't be cussing you motherfuckers out every time I hit that goddamn button. That's my opening, cussing you motherfuckers out. I'll be nice as hell. Logic. After a while, your lives gonna run out. Is this they already overlapping and crisscrossing and shit? Like what the fuck? That don't make sense. Bunch of slow motherfuckers. And what the kid, they be slow and deceitful. That's just crazy. And here looking like I'm gonna pour some Kool-Aid in there with water activate. The fuck? I'm fucking with y'all and I'm missing some of my fucking eyebrow. Like, shut your ass up. Not in the move, no bullshit. Hey, don't worry about my goddamn eyebrow. Did you see it? Fuck the lumps and bumps. They go down and they move to another side, whatever. I got something coming in my mouth. Fuck all of that. I'm talking about my damn eyebrow. I promise you. Bad time and don't do that. Don't. I would take my ass out there and get some of them Atlanta housewife eyebrows. I don't do the thing. Don't do the That looks funny to me. That's crazy. I don't do that. And no um licensed cosmetologist will allow you to do no thin eyebrow. Not they don't do that. Like, what is going on? What's going on with your face? Okay. No, Oh, hey, your eyebrows are still perfect. No, it ain't, bitch. Don't you see something missing? Hell, fucking with me. I'm sitting up here every day trying to see if I see a little hair starting or something coming back in and whatever. I'm stressed the fuck out. Shit. Damn. I don't know what to do. I'm going to the emergency room. Hey, no, I'm dead ass serious. I go to the emergency room and tell them, hey, can y'all do something? Shit. See what's going on. What's causing it to like not grow back. You know, because now, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. You know how when this eyebrow got fucked up, the last time I posted the Chinese lady. When I was a Chinese lady, that's when that eyebrow got messed up. That's been a minute. Like what? Like, come on now. Damn it, man. Come on. Oh, I'm putting in my prayers tonight. Oh, eyebrow. Oh, I got to see what is the prayer for the eyebrow. Mm-mm. I know it's some kind of cream or something you can buy something. Because this ain't going to work out. My eyebrows. Then Cookie say she was one of them empaths and fortune tellers and the veil on her face. Can you tell me something about my eyebrow? Can you get the cards and shuffle them and tell me something about my damn eyebrow? Shit. I'm telling you, I'm in a bad mood about that shit. Oh, y'all gonna get cussed out every guy. I'm gonna take it out on y'all because God knows I ain't gonna take it out on nobody I like. Take it on you motherfuckers, my goddamn eyebrow. Fuck you. I'm serious. Cause you can't get shuffle them cards. So I don't shuffle no damn bicycle cards. Shuffle them cards that be like with the later the thing be on the be talking about death and all that. Get the real cards. And see if you can find out something about my damn eyebrow. How long I got to wait for it? Damn. Damn. I'll be serious. I'm grabbing the mirror now. I got the mirror like in the bed. Just looking, see if I see anything. I don't need nobody fucking with me. Go talk about and listen. If you don't talk about me and or my likeness, people like me, directly, indirectly, I wouldn't have anything to say. So it's not me. I'm just responding to what I keep hearing over and over. You got Levi, you got this and whatever. I don't nobody want to keep hearing all about that. It's just like, I mean, don't y'all got this recorded? It's the same motherfucking hate speech. It's a hate speech. They hate the motherfucking paper. Them degrees was motherfucking goddamn drawn up on. God damn. Like, oh my gosh. What you mean I don't like you? Huh? It's missing. Didn't you see the picture? Some of it's missing from that swelling and all that breaking in the skin and stuff like that. It's missing. And you got this. Okay, I ain't gonna go there. Because that's really going. I'm gonna keep it on like, but I could go there. Because if you open the door to something, I get to come right in. But you got motherfuckers talking about how people look and it's due to something, and you look at your motherfucking ass, it's due to birth. Hmm? Are you kidding me? Don't get your ass out of here with that la la. Get your ass out of here. So I'm missing my motherfucking eyebrow. Bitch. Shit. And then check this out right here. Can't even put the pencil up there to do something because guess what? It's open. It's open up there, and I don't want the pencil in the pores and in the open. I can't do none of that. It's terrible. So yeah, girl, shut the fuck up. I don't know the hell you talking about. Always trying to make a situation what it ain't. Cause you listen to an old dummy who is lying his ass off. Like, child, please. Y'all don't, child, logic, child. You crazy. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something. There are so many um men or whatever I could think of that I if I was on long to be with somebody, oh my gosh, there's so many I could think of. Sometimes you got to understand that's not what the situation is. You better ask if you know you got the right parties in the right positions. I'm just saying, and you know I got it. You stop pushing that lie, because it's gonna be terrible if I prove it's a lie. Let me know. Yes, ma'am. No, it's not a scratch in my. No, listen, it was a sore, right? And it was taking a long time to heal from when I was a Chinese lady. When it was Chinese lady real bad, that was the last time I was like I was a bad Chinese lady. You understand what I'm saying? Where it got that bad, right? Usually it's just like, it'd be like it sometimes it'd be like just looks a little disfigured, right? Like sometimes um my jaws or whatever, it look like it goes long or whatever. Or get the gum be damaged, just one side be this, all that type of shit, whatever, right? So when you constantly keep having the skin doing whatever, it's stretching, it's opening, and stuff like that, right? It had healed up. So I was wondering, I'm like, well, goddamn, it's healing up. I touched it. It felt like it was an ingrown hair in there. I was like, because it definitely didn't have no hair coming out, right? Because check this out, when you get your eyebrows arching, which I just have to get like some taken out, like under there, right, to make sure that it's clean, right? Not much. The hair grows back. That's why you have to go get it done again, right? Well, the hair wasn't coming back, so I said, and I was touching. I'm like, well, shit, maybe it's a little sore. Maybe it's a hair trapped in there. So I, you know, went to digging myself to see if there was a hair trap. So that's why it's a hole there now. That's my own doing. But regardless, ain't no hair there. Uh-uh. You know what? Lupus is an autoimmune disease, right? I don't have lupus. I have something, but coupled with that, I don't supposed to be dealing with no sun. I don't supposed to be out there in no sun. I'm supposed to be on some Michael Jackson shit. And the fact that I take those medicines for my high blood pressure and it gives me breakouts and swelling and shit. and it causes, rash and things of that nature. That together in the summertime or when that sun out and I don't have my shit covered, mm-mm. I be tore up. I be red, whatever, and ain't nothing I can put on it. Nothing. I can't do no scrubbing, no exfoliate. I can't do shit. So yeah, no, I don't have that. I haven't had a. I had that one. Remember I told you, I thought I was finna go on up to the upper room. Yeah, that's when I got diagnosed with that shit. But I mean, I have um prednisone just in case it ever flares up again, but it didn't. They told me, okay, you got to watch it for 2 years. We'll see if you're gonna die, and I didn't die, so obvious, and it never happened again. There are some people that get it. I had it internally that affected my organs. Some people get it on the outside where it affects their skin, and they have all them big lumps and shit on the skin and stuff like that. My friend who came over Christmas, her husband, her first husband that took his life, he had it, and she was the first one. She said, "You probably have that because the doctors they was they was running all kind of tests on me. They didn't know what it was, but when it can't when the X-rays and stuff came and all of that while they was waiting on the actual testing." They sent a doctor in there that I know to tell me, the news, because they know I'm about to freak the fuck out. That is either cancer or AIDS. So I said, well, one of them you can all go ahead and rule out. AIDS. I know I ain't got that. Because your mama be running to get a goddamn test, baby, every year. Especially, let me tell you something. You never know about how that shit works. Every time I don't know, they can come back one day tell me, yeah, it lies dormant. I don't hear nothing about that. That's why, even though I know what the little scarring is from when in my breast, it shows up on my mammogram. That came from when that shit was fucking with my organs, right? And I had got baby when they were singing "We Are the World" when they saw me because I had gotten that small. Even though I know that that little scar, that's what you call it, scar tissue, I guess that's what you call it, is going to show up on my mammogram, and they're gonna tell me, oh, you gotta come back in 6 months or whatever. I already know what it is. I still be showing up because I don't want no shit. I love me some me. I don't want no shit. Uh-uh. Yeah, Cookie, it's not growing. Is that what the cards told you? Yeah, Cookie, that's exactly what it's doing. It's not growing to cover, not to cover the scar, that just that opening. And I feel like the opening is going to heal, you know, and it's gonna probably heal slow because I keep, I have a some kind of reaction to that medicine damn near every day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know when the hair is going to. I don't know. Ask them cards when the hair is going to grow back. Shit, ask them. Don't ask me. Ask them cards. Shit, I'm chill. Oh, no, Sarice. It's nothing contagious. It's nothing. I'm just baby. Um, like to talk to you motherfuckers about a lot of shit. But if you hit me behind the scene, I'll tell you. Mm-mm. Ain't nothing. I mean, it's serious, but it ain't serious. Okay. Um. But anyway, you got oh my gosh, child. I'm trying to tell you, these are the motherfuckers like that are the boogers your parents won't let you play with. They won't let you play them kids that mm-mm. If you be one, oh well, you couldn't even go down there to their house. Just slow. Dang. You can't. I'm telling you, you get hit for talking about how you grew up, whatever. Because that's how it was. And just because I want to rocking no motherfucking baby and nobody else's baby and all this bullshit, whatever, like however, sharing motherfucking beds and your siblings kissing in the bed and all that crazy ass shit, you motherfuckers be going. I mean, it don't mean nothing. I'm just talking about what happened with me. And like, why you sitting back mad? I'm not the one you need to blame for that. If it is affecting you, you can't hear about other people's childhood experiences. What the fuck? Y'all real fucked up right here. Well, I'm sorry to tell you. That's the only thing I have to tell you. I had a good time. Shit. Yeah, they knew if I didn't get what I want, it was gonna be some shit. Even when I was an adult, oh, it's gonna be some shit. I told my mom and my dad, I'm like, listen, okay, because I was dual enrolled instead of being on somebody's penis at well shit, it's almost I was almost 17. Hell, I was jumping up and down somebody's penis. But I had birth control, okay? I had the common sense to do that. So, but I still knew to take my ass to motherfucking school. At 16, like regular 16, I wasn't jumping up on somebody's penis. I was taking my ass to the school and taking my ass to the college. Okay? I was approved to be dual enrolled. Okay? Mm-mm. Yeah, but I talked to all I have spoken to some of the the college educated people, and we tired. Yeah, I don't talk to them motherfuckers. I ain't riled them up. They be like, God damn. Like, when did we become the problem? Huh? Do the statistics. Who are the motherfuckers and who and the reasons why the people got to come up with all these laws and change them and do all these processes and all this and shit. What who the college educated motherfuckers are the others. I wait. And I saying that the college educated people ain't getting in trouble. They ain't said that. I ain't said none of that. But to say that we somewhere in place to harm, what? Are you crazy? Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Time's up, baby. I'm bringing a new meaning to the motherfucking Me Too goddamn movement. Time's up. Shut the fuck up. Find something. It's so much to talk about. What if I did a live or talk about every day? Talk about the dangers of excess. Hmm. Weed and alcohol and food. Why am I talking about that? It make them crazy. Like it can be a bad thing, but it can also be a good thing. But it ain't stay on my mind. Shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Those are conversations ain't got nothing to do with me. I like my little, I like my little meal now, but the conversations ain't got nothing really to do with me. So I'm not gonna indulge into it. Every time I turn around, platform, like, oh my god, like what is it? I mean, had me looking at the motherfucker. I ain't even hang them back up. Yeah, I mean, got me looking at the motherfucker like, what is? Why are you driving people crazy? Like, god damn. Ooh, shit. What is so what is that? Hold on. I don't know how to pronounce that. What is that? That's some kind of is that some kind of root? If you done took your ass down there to them Carolinas, them motherfuckers rooted down there. Yes, y'all rooted. What this do? Can I wait a minute? Are you telling me that's what I have? I don't have that. Y'all don't listen. It's a reaction to medicine. I don't have a condition that's causing that, causing the breaking and stuff like that. With the sun, with the autoimmune situation, I'm not supposed to be fucking around with no sun. So you add the sun, to what the medicine is causing, it's giving me an issue. And I automatically peel in the summertime. Is it the summer? Yeah, in the summertime too. I peel in the summertime and get lighter in the winter. Well, I mean, I think most people do. But I peel in the summer, and I refuse to wear suntan lotion because the one time that I did, I don't think I brought the right kind, and it leaked all in my face. And here's the thing where I was really being cheap because it so happened I was doing a project for Banana Boat. I was using that, and I put that shit on, and I think I put too much with it. It was running all in my eyes. It was burning. I'm like, hell no, I don't never do this no more. And I didn't know which one to put on. I don't know what the SF is or SPF, whatever the fuck it is. How am I supposed to know? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they ain't put a diagnosis. I don't know what should be washing my hair with. Yeah, she not. I mean, she ain't doing that to my face, but she's washing my hair with. But I know she said it was vegan. Them white people be finding all kind of shit. It's gonna be vegan. White people gonna have vegan shit, right? So, but anyway, okay. So let me put on. I had ran across this and I had forgot, but I was reminded. I forgot Lil Woody causing people to have another little hearing on Friday. really know what they talked about, but I'm gonna put them on. So we're gonna be here all night. It's not that long. It's not as long as the others. Oh, okay. Cookie, are you a nurturing type of person? Oh, I said I was gonna. Yeah, I thought I'd already blued up Love Faces. I thought I had already blued her up. I don't give a fuck. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, what is going on? Why I can't find her? Oh man. Okay, well I have to do it when I get off here. I gotta remind myself to do it. For real? Okay. Cookie, you know what I did? Know what I used to do? Because see, Cookie, you not, you know what I think it is? I like sexy, what I would consider sexy sex thing, and you might like freaky sex thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get ready because I thought about it. The stuff that you be liking, I don't know. I mean, you know, but like I like role plays and get a little rough and stuff like that, right? But I also I told you I also be sometimes I get to do the submissive thing because everybody know I'm not gonna um ask for nothing and stuff like that. Whatever. I mean, I negotiate shit up front. Like if we don't, if you're not in the house or whatever, okay, which is not the case hardly. I mean, the policeman is the only other person that have lived. We've lived together outside of somebody I married. Okay, now they was maybe it was there, like but like they live there, but they're actually living there, like their mail coming there. Mm-mm, right? So I negotiate, like you know, they're not negotiating. Let me stop saying it like that. But like when you get paid, you give me whatever you gonna give me and whatever. This is like if we're not living together, whatever. So I don't never have a reason to ask you for anything because you already have given me what you're going to give me, whatever, right? So, but sometimes I think that men know that they were somebody that's self sufficient and that they will get, I get out and work anywhere, a whole bunch of shit, whatever. And a lot of them, and most people admire me for my hard work, and I'm not picky and choose how I'm gonna do, you know, have I like to do it, right? So I used to call like credit card man because I think that played in his, I'll be like, um, I'll say, oh Lord, I'll be like, I'm hungry. Oh Lord, he was like, what you want? Now you know damn well I could buy me something to eat, but that's the type of nigga I'm used to. Or calling me and say you hungry or you need something or whatever. Like that agent before he used to come over, yeah, you need something. That type of shit. I don't know nobody. I got to get it. You got to give me back the change. The fuck? Anyway, then this old lying motherfucker talking about she married. I ain't never seen nobody that don't know who they done married, how many years they been married to, whatever. The friend don't know. Everybody confused or whatever. Just think they ain't got the lie together. She married. She just got married in Vegas recently. 33 years. The years keep changing. All this stuff lying. Girl, god damn. You take care of a nigga. And that bitch was so happy to show us that man was out there cutting the grass and complaining. No, that goddamn man don't cut no damn grass or nothing else. Then she tried to act like it was some dude like that was with her that put a deck on. Then she revealed that it was her son-in-law. Just lie, just lie. Bitch, we know you ain't hitting on nothing. Shut up, hell. You just like the rest of these motherfuckers. Shut the fuck up. Your goddamn below average ass. Fuck on somewhere. These are, stop being in. That ain't a conversation or nothing that I have over here you should be in. And then up there gonna talk about Lord have mercy. Now listen, this supposed to be the job that she already supposed to be doing with the union. Just lie. Y'all already know I know right. Up there talking about using the Weingarten rights. They couldn't even say it right. They need to be using that. Bitch, I know your motherfucking ass ain't shit what you trying to say you do or whatever. You telling a goddamn lie. Bitch, you never can compete with me. Just give it up. You make up words. Girl, do you know that is exclusive use for like employees and the motherfucking union and shit, bitch? Not in the open court, in the fucking criminal court or civil court. That's why they got the fifth. Stop bullshitting. Girl, the bullshit them motherfuckers, cause they probably ain't paying attention or slow. Girl, yeah, your motherfucking ability to impress is nil. Means none. Nothing. Like you. Shut your ass down. I go, oh God, I hate them type people. Jesus. You be trying to do too much. Ain't no way. That's like seeing Usain Bolt run, I'm gonna get out there and say, yeah, I can match up with him. Bitch, is you crazy? I'm gonna still be trying to figure out how to get off the block. That nigga gonna be halfway around the motherfucking thing. Cause I'm gonna be confused. I'm like, how they do it now? Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute, sir. Can you shoot the gun again? Hold on, I wasn't ready. Hey, play to your strengths, motherfucker. Get your ass down somewhere. Yeah. No nobody that got no blue hair, no blueberry. Shut up. It's dumb. And you know what? You probably had one of them bad ear infections that went untreated, and that's why you slow. That's probably what happened to you. That's all that. What's that pianist's name? That Jock somebody. He had syphilis though. It wasn't his ear. He had syphilis. But anyway, but let me tell you, you probably one of the motherfucking children that something didn't get treated, and then it aided in your slowness, your dumbness. Go figure it out. Probably with them special shoes and big it with thing braces on them or whatever. It's probably what happened. Go ask around and see if that you know see I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Stop giving out bad information. They can't use that in Woody's trial and nobody else's trial that's at him. Shit. I'm not gonna tell you about what because you don't know because you're making it up. Yep, they're trying to see what the people be doing. What the real people be doing. If I know that you are one of the shopsters, I know. Stop playing. Let's stop all that bullshit and see you don't get to try to be in my shit or what you think is my shit or whatever, and then I'm not getting yours. That's crazy. I just know. I don't just say nothing. So a whole liar. Up to now you married, but before you and the girl Sarah, y'all didn't know when you married, who you married to, whatever, what year it was, looking crazy. When did I get married? Sarah tomorrow. Oh no, no. People don't believe that shit. Some people say, where's the boat? Fuck that. Where's the damn boat? I'm a professional in the boat. Like, look at this liar. Two motherfucking liars. Anybody talking about, uh, yeah, he fired his attorney. His attorney was from the prosecution team. No, bitch. How you gonna fire your attorney on the prosecution team? Just shut up. Oh, God, I can't. Oh. Yeah, well, Cookie, I like I like them role plays and a little rough and a little a little. You gotta be careful with them choking. You gotta make sure that you know that motherfucker who trying to choke you, cause you can hold your breath and achieve the same shit, same thing. I'm safe sometimes just holding my breath, and sometimes if because I fuck with them old conservative ass people. If I know that they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're holding your breath, why? You know what I do? I be like, you know what I do? I be like, I don't say nothing. I just go and hold my breath. Don't even worry about it. I got it. I don't want them to. You understand what I'm saying? They don't might not understand what the hell is going on. Like, oh boy, you're holding your. What is going on? When you started all of this? Oh Lord. So let me put a little wooded now. Where did I?
Believe that port that's admissible.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland testified that Detective Gaither, during the course of any of these interviews, were forcing him to name a suspect. What she's doing here, for context, this interview is the day after Mr. Copeland, his child, and his child's mother has been shot at. And if you can recall, in the February 20th interview when he was with Detective Curry, which has been played before the jury, Detective Curry attempted to get Mr. Copeland to tell him who did it. He did not. If you can recall, he would not say who did it. Detective Curry went into a conversation with him saying, I know you know, I could tell by your body language that you know. Then when he was by himself with Deshawn, his girlfriend, he told his girlfriend, I know who killed me. I know, I'm not killed me. I know who shot at me. This is the next day in which they knew that he had a relationship with Gaither. If you can recall, in that February 20th interview, they kept telling him, you need to talk to Gaither. You need to call Gaither. And now Gaither is trying to get him to come forward with whomever he saw in the day that he was shot at. And so what Gaither is doing during this portion is telling him, I can't stop them from shooting at you. I can't stop them from doing anything if you don't tell me what happens. And majority of this interview is her trying to encourage him to tell what he knows. And that is, again, in contradiction to what Mr. Copeland has said on the stand, that one, that they were forcing him. They were not. And you can see throughout the conversations here, they're never forcing him to do anything. Two, Mr. Copeland eventually says that I wasn't, that Tay never killed me. I think he said, I swear on my child's grave or my mom's grave that Tay never did it. And this whole entire interview is them talking to him about what has been happening, the shootings, the retaliatory shootings, and encouraging him to tell them who he knew shot at him, his child, and his child's mother. So I think this is relevant, one, to contradict Mr. Copeland's in-court testimony that they were forcing him to do anything. Two, to show how the police were attempting to get him to give information, which was in a calm fashion, which was in a fashion to get him comfortable enough to be ready and prepared to make an identification. And so we believe it's relevant to show the jury they weren't forcing him to do anything.
Mr. Short?
Well, I think if you look at that exchange in isolation, it is a narrative by the detective. It's not prior inconsistent statements by Mr. Copeland, but you might say it's not that egregious or, what's the big deal? I think as we go on and we discuss the next two excerpts, it kind of builds upon itself in forming this narrative of people are not coming forward. Our job is so difficult. We got to do this to protect the community. We got to do this to protect children. And that's my concern, is pushing that narrative through Gaither's words during these interviews are admitted for the express purpose of Mr. Copeland's prior inconsistent statements.
Let me make a suggestion. Why don't I just listen to the three together, and then we can have another discussion, okay?
Great.
All right. Let's play 40840 to 409, or actually 40840 through 41105.
Sorry, 40836.
And even if I did see something on Twitter, I can use what Twitter says. You the victim here. That's what you're so used to being in fucked up situations, you don't realize you a true damn victim. When the police came to my house, I wasn't no I was a suspect. I can't vouch for what nobody else did. That's my case. That's my case. If you was a suspect, you would have got locked up that night. That night. You admitted to shooting back, you would have got locked up that night. Am I mugshot at you. Either you gonna tell me or you not, or you just gonna stay in this predicament that you in. But you're not helping yourself. And you going to the streets trying to kill you. I ain't going to the street. I was. If you was, you would have been told the first time. The first time you would have told me. It ain't just about you and your life, because your baby was dying. It was just the first time. You think I was joking? What did you tell me the first time? What I tell you? You don't forgot what I told you the first time? The first time when I talked to you a few weeks ago about the incident on the highway, you didn't tell me when it was time to tell me. You didn't tell me. Us talking off the record, it's like it never happened. It's like it never happened, and I can't work like that. You expect me to help people? Look at what happened to me. I'm expecting you to help you. I'm getting shot at and locked up. It's like I'm talking to a brick wall. I try my best not to cry. It's all right to cry. I cried the same night they came. I did. I let it out. But I scratch every day. You know what? I just shot my car. You know what I was doing? I was still out. I ran 4-wheelers everywhere. I know. I heard. I wasn't riding all right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know everybody wasn't out to get me. I'm not saying everybody out to get you, but the folks that are out to get you, obviously they coming for you. And me as a police officer, you don't give two shits about your life. I care about your baby life. I care about her life. She can't get my life and my girl life. Exactly. So help me do this shit. They unprotected now. They out there by themselves. But you not telling me nothing. Cause I'm in jail. You right here right now. They out there by themselves, and the folks that shot at y'all.
In the limit later at 4/11/17.
All right.
Hang on, I have a physical copy of it.
Thank you.
It will be 378 Yankee Bravo 2.
Thank you. All right, sir. Sure.
So, Your Honor, my objection to what the playing of what Investigator Gaither says is that Investigator Gaither, again, not the intended declarant of these statements, these out-of-court statements, is essentially making an argument that the jury will hear that it's a future dangerousness argument. It's an argument that, you're either on the side of the quote unquote gangsters, or you're on the side of the people that are trying to protect children. It presents a false dichotomy, and also I
just came back now. I'm not sure. Hold on. I'm not sure how he's saying that's a future dangerousness argument, because that's when you're trying to tell the jury that if you don't lock this person up, they may commit crimes in the future. I mean, the name says it all. It's an aggravating circumstance. Remember, when, in the closing arguments, the prosecutors get to present aggravating circumstance, the defense get to present mitigating circumstances, right? So that is an aggravating circumstance. So I don't know how he's saying in the investigation that that is future dangerous. So let me also say, and I've said this several times, Georgia has they have some extra shit in the law. It'll blow you away. It's one of the states that's a little different. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get explanation. Hold on.
To consider subjects and consider things that are not supposed to be in their purview as
Yes.
the finder of fact. Well, future dangerousness, the protecting the community.
Okay, okay, tell me where in this particular, from 35950 to
Well,
41105 that you want me to invite me to look at for future dangerousness.
I believe it is around 41055 where essentially Investigator Gaither is saying to Mr. Copeland,
Okay,
you're not cooperating.
Hold on one
If
second.
you don't,
You said 41055?
I believe it's
Hey, can you give me the page references for that, please?
and it's
I don't believe that he's saying this. I don't know what he's talking about.
and essentially
No, around 410. I need to know the.
What page 410?
Yes, ma'am.
That will be around page 28.
All right.
and I don't have the transcript in front of me, the state's transcript, but what the part that I'm referring to is where she says, Woody, you're not talking, you're not cooperating, you might not care about your little girl, but I do. I'm going to protect your little girl. And I think that's improper. It puts it improperly presents this dichotomy where the police are the good guys and the protectors of children away from, the bad guys who are out warring in the streets. And I just believe that that's an improper statement. A, it's not true, but B, it's an improper statement that.
Well, maybe somehow it is. You can do that in investigation with future dangerousness because the judge is talking about, well, where is it? Where you said for future dangerousness. So maybe you can do it in investigation. Honey, I don't know. I mean, that's Georgia. I mean, I should know for it's Georgia or whatever, but baby, that's a whole nother story. And we don't, even if it's whatever it is, you don't know everything, even in your state. Okay, so you just don't know. But you always have to continue to do research to make sure you have the latest and the most up to date laws when you present whatever side you're on or whatever to support your argument. But let's go.
That invites the jurors to consider things other than the evidence in this case.
Okay, you saying that, okay, I'm looking at page 28, line 10 or thereabouts, Detective Gaither. I'm not saying everybody out to get you, but the folks that are out to get you, obviously they're coming for you. And me as a police officer, I don't give two shits about your life, but I care about your baby's life.
Right.
Copeland, I care about her life. Detective Gaither, she can't get Copeland and my life and my girl life, Gaither, exactly. So help me do this shit. And then Copeland, they out now. They out there by self. But they self. But then you're not telling me nothing. That's Gaither.
Right.
And he says, because I'm in jail. And then she goes on to say, you hear right now, this is page 29, starting page 29, they out there by themselves, and the folks that shot at y'all are probably still out there as well,
In my most strenuous objection is just about the comments about protecting his daughter. I don't think that's appropriate.
right. Any other portions that you want to point? Are you saying that the entirety of it, or are you just saying that particular section?
Right, that particular section about the child, and I think that fails under 403. Not probative. Again, it's the investigator talking, so she doesn't have any personal knowledge of the facts of this case. It's not really the witness presenting evidence, and again, I think it's confuses the issue, and it's likely to inflame the passions of the jurors, and it's prejudicial to our clients.
Well, if there was some testimony that Mr. Copeland was in a vehicle with his significant other and his baby,
Outside of his house.
and they were shot at.
Yes, this is
They were shot at.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
This interview, just for context, is 2 days after that
Yes.
event.
So, I mean, it's not. I mean, she's got some basis to ask him those particular ask him or appeal to him in terms of what he, what's going on in his life and her investigation. Like, don't you want to get at the folks that, or at least tell who it is that shot at you?
Well, let me.
Because she's investigating.
I'm not
correct?
criticizing her questioning of Mr. Copeland. Of course, yeah, she has the right in the interrogation room to appeal to whatever she wants. I'm just saying not every, even if it's quite honestly, even if it's decent interrogation techniques, doesn't necessarily mean the words of the officer are exposed to the jury. And that's my issue. I'm not saying that she broke any rules in the interrogation. I'm just saying that those appeals are not necessarily appropriate to expose to the jury.
Should I respond to that?
Okay. Tell me again how it's future dangerousness.
Well, it's an improper appeal to protect the community. It's creating the impression in the juror's mind that the police are out here protecting children, and that these gentlemen in this back and forth between Mr. Copeland and other individuals, and the state would say individuals seated back here, and this other group are putting these children at risk. And what I'm saying is, if Investigator Gaither was on the stand and said, you know what really bothers me about these things that I've been investigating all these years, it's that these bullets come out of these guns and they're coming at children's heads. We would all jump up and say, objection, objection, that's improper. What is she saying on the stand? So I don't know why it's allowed in just because it's on a tape as an out of court statement. It's still making the same appeal.
I don't think she's making a general. I don't think she being Gaither. I don't think she's making an individual appeal for protection of the community. I think she's making an individual appeal to him because he's the victim of a crime, a purported crime at that point in time. So, but I've heard your argument. I haven't made a decision as of yet. State?
Yes, Your Honor. So I want to address a few things. First, this future dangerousness argument is not a proper argument for what occurred in the interview room. Future dangerousness solely talks about an open and closing argument referencing to the jury that if you don't find these defendants guilty, then this will occur in the future. That is what future dangerousness references. It has no bearing on an investigator who's trying to investigate a crime, appealing to the victim as to why he should come forward with who harmed him. That is what Detective Gaither was trying to do. Secondly, Your Honor, the defense early in our trial made a number of cross-examination efforts to talk about police officers and the fact that they only target a community, that they only arrest certain types of individuals. And what this video shows, most importantly, is that she was trying to get Mr. Copeland to identify who did this. But secondly, that the police aren't just trying to arrest people. They are not just trying to get individuals charged with crimes, but yet they are trying to investigate crimes, hold individuals accountable, and make sure that those who are victims are no longer victims. And so what Detective Gaither is doing in this portion is trying her best to appeal to Mr. Copeland, who has some concern about giving up an individual, who is concerned about snitching. And that's what you're going to see later on in this interview. And she's trying to get him to identify who did this to her, who did this to him and his child's mother, Your Honor. And so given one, Copeland himself on the stand says, in all these interviews, they were just out to get me. They were out to get Thug. They were out to get me. This is a complete contradiction to that, because Gaither isn't trying to get him. Gaither isn't trying to just get Thug in this interview. Literally, she's trying to identify who shot him. So one, it's impeachment by contradiction to show Gaither's, how Gaither was interacting with him. Two, she was trying to get Mr. Copeland to identify who the person was that he saw shoot at him. She can use certain investigative tools and tactics. Mr. Steele said yesterday, all day long, I want to show that this is how they investigated cases. Well, this is a part of that. This line of questioning is how they investigated cases. And when Mr. Steele says, well, I want to show these bad portions of it, then this is in contradiction to that. This is her using her investigative tools in order to get a victim to come forward. So for that reason, it should come in. And then this future dangerousness argument is not relevant for what occurred in this courtroom. So for those reasons, Your Honor, we would ask to play these portions of the recording.
All right. Anybody else other than Mr. Sharp wish to be heard on this, on the first three redactions? 35950, 40020, or 40840 to 40940, or 41055 to 41105. Anyone else? Mr. Weinstein? Mr. Matthews? Ms. T. Williams? Mr. Harvey? And a 105 instruction. Okay. Denied. But I've noted it, sir. I'll give you a continuing objection on that issue, okay? All right, Mr. Steele?
No, I'll adopt what was said.
All right, sir. Okay. For the reasons articulated by the state in terms of identification or impeachment by contradiction, I don't believe that future dangerousness applies for this particular portion of the transcript. I'm going to authorize or allow the state to play those particular portions over objection.
So why were you thinking about it? Like, what?
All right, can we move on to 41130 to 41235?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll just keep on playing from where it stops.
All right.
And Your Honor, for reference, that's page
Yes.
29, line 9, through page 48, line 11.
What will that take us through?
That's going to take us through 41235.
Oh, okay. That's the fourth area of contention. 41130 through 41235.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You can go ahead and play it, please.
Still out there as well. Probably still out there as well. Still. Oh shit, man. I try my best, man. Cause guess what? If I help you, if I tell you anything, guess what? They make it even worse. What make it worse? Everybody, oh, now I'm a snitch. Now this and that and that. Bro, how you a snitch for somebody trying to kill you, the girl, and your baby? That's snitching. I just want to get out of jail and go to my next job. Just stay out of the way, man. I'm ready. But do you honestly think somebody else that's quote unquote the good guy gonna want to help you? If you ain't telling us like you talk about snitching and all this, it ain't about that. But as long as you out there being a part of the problem, we're gonna let you be a part of the problem. I haven't been a part of the problem. You are. You're not trying to resolve the problem at hand. And I told you the only way for you to start resolving, to get this shit started and resolving it, is you gotta talk to her straight up. That's it. You gotta talk to her straight up. Because if you're not, it's just gonna continue and continue and continue. And I hate to see you or anybody else come up dead behind some foolishness because everybody want to be loyal to the streets and then the Trump want to say, kid.
And that warrants all persons.
Okay. Mr. Sharp?
So my issue with this, and again, it's going to be under 403. My issue is this: the state is clearly making the argument and trying to appeal to the jurors through their questioning, and I'm sure they're going to make arguments in closing. They made arguments in opening that witnesses are reluctant, that Mr. Copeland's reluctant. They're pointing out that Mr. Copeland says certain things when Jeffrey Williams is in the room versus not in the room. And the reality is, despite insinuations at times by the state outside the presence of the jury, that were unfortunate accusations, I think, there's been no evidence that Mr. Copeland fears anyone seated here. There's been no evidence of any threats made by anyone seated in this courtroom towards Mr. Copeland, or at least on the defense side. So here, Mr. Copeland is clearly expressing fear of being a snitch, being labeled a snitch, the ramifications of telling. But what's important here, and I'm afraid of what might get lost, is Mr. Copeland is expressing fear of an entirely different group of people than the accused here today. He's expressing fear of the group of people that are shooting at him actively at the time of this interview, which I think the state has alleged are IF gang members. I believe that certain individuals that are not associated with any of the defendants here today were arrested and charged with that crime. So it's misleading the jury. It's confusing the issues, because I think Mr. Copeland is expressing a reluctance to cooperate out of fear being labeled a snitch, but it's not. It invites the jury to conclude that he's afraid of these gentlemen, and that's not what he's saying. And yes, I understand that we have the ability to cross-examine and those issues, but Your Honor, I just ask for you to consider the logistics of this case. The fact that the state is talking about playing, like, I don't know if we add them up, 17 hours of videos or however long of Mr. Copeland. There's it's not a typical trial where we get to just follow up with cross and clear up issues. There might be a week between when this is played and when we have the opportunity to cross-examine him about these issues and clarify some things and clear them up. And it's kind of like it's just not a smooth process. And I think that we need to do our best to eliminate any of the misleading or confusing issues from this tape, including this segment right here, which under 403, I believe that it should be excluded.
Okay. State?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think Mr. Shard is trying to compartmentalize issues, and we have to look at this case in the totality of all of the circumstances. So first things first, specifically, when I asked Mr. Copeland on the stand about Tay and about whether or not he saw Tay shooting, he said, again on the stand, he didn't do it. I swear to God, he didn't do it, or whatever his frame. I'm not quoting that as a direct quote. But also, he talked about not being afraid of snitching. He talked about the fact that whatever he said in these interviews, he was just saying it just to say it. I asked him, was he concerned about snitching, being labeled a snitch? He said, I was not. So this is impeachment. by contradiction and prior inconsistent statements, both. Because I, on direct examination, asked him, was he concerned about snitching? He said, no, I wasn't concerned about snitching. They were forcing me to point out Tay. They were forcing me to do it. Gaither forced me to point out Tay. This is in complete contradiction. He literally talks about why he cannot identify Tay because he's going to be labeled a snitch. I believe this is the interview. Later on, he talks about the fact that his cousin was labeled a snitch and what happened to his cousin. So this is one in direct contradiction to that specific line of questioning. But also, Your Honor, snitching is relevant in this trial in the totality of the circumstances. Mr. Copeland literally last week or 2 weeks ago decided initially that he was going to plead the fifth in order not to testify in trial. To testify into trial is snitching. He has now, as a course of his conduct in the last few weeks when he has testified, is now completely contradicting everything he told police when these individuals were not in the interview room. Again, that is snitching. And here is a reason he is explaining in 2015 why snitching is a problem. So when you look at it for both the specific impeachment of my line of questioning about this interview, but then the larger conspiracy, in this case, people do not want to come in here and testify. Mr. Copeland is not the first witness. We've had Ms. Archillian Bennett, who testified that what she never talked to the police or what she told the police was a lie. But then when you come into court and have to face the individuals that you were accusing, have a different story. Same thing with Adrian Bean. Adrian Bean had a whole interview with Detective Quinn, identified Mr. Williams, identified other individuals who participated in a crime with him. But when he came into court, did not testify. So therefore, snitching is an issue in this trial. Mr. Copeland is talking about his reasons for not wanting to snitch, which is very relevant in the totality of this case. So for multiple reasons, we believe that this portion should be allowed to be played.
All right. Any other counsels wish to be heard on this particular issue from 4:11:30 to 4:12:35? Mr. Weinstein?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. D. Williams? Mr. Harvey?
Judge, it can't be impeachment because it was made at a time when the witness had a motivation to lie, even after this particular event occurred. So it can't be admitted for that purpose.
All right, okay. All right, sir. Mr. Steele?
Just as the court goes through your ruling, the state's information, what they just said about people come in and then face Mr. Williams et al. And then are reluctant, it's not what I understand. I understand Ms. Bennett was upset because the district attorney's coworker was inappropriately communicating with her. I understand that Mr. Bean told another detective at the hospital when he was first arrested that he did not have the information. He was told if you include Mr. Williams, then you can get out. It will be better for you. With Mr. Copeland, who's testifying, he has stated that he's been pressured by the prosecution. So this whole creation of pressure is a theory of the district attorney without zero proof. So I don't believe that that should weigh into your analysis at all. I also agree with Mr. Harvey that once the reason for the fabrication or the improper influence is birthed, then under Tome, which is T-O-M-E, United States Supreme Court case, and in Georgia, Adams, A-D-A-M-S. It's also in the statute, which is OCGA section 24-6-613, because the motivation of Mr. Copeland is clear. He's in custody. He wants to get out of custody, and he's making statements. These are not prior consistent statements at all. The state is saying it's prior inconsistent statements. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're really prior consistent statements that they wish to get in, because Mr. Copeland really is not inconsistent.
So let me tell you what Brian Steele is trying to do, and this is, it's not a, I don't want to call it a trick or whatever. I guess it is, it's strategy when it comes to trying to keep evidence out or get evidence in. So he is saying that those statements are prior. What did he say? Hold on, let me make sure. I'll go to talking.
He did not have the information. He was told, if you include Mr. Williams, then you can get out. It'll be better for you. With Mr. Copeland, who's testifying, he has stated that he's been pressured by the prosecution. So this whole creation of pressure is a theory of the district attorney without zero proof. So I don't believe that should weigh into your analysis at all. I also agree with Mr. Harvey that once the reason for the fabrication or the improper influence is birthed, then under Tome, which is T-O-M-E, United States Supreme Court case, and in Georgia, Adams, A-D-A-M-S. It's also in the statute, which is OCGA section 24-6-613, because the motivation of Mr. Copeland is clear. He's in custody. He wants to get out of custody. And he's making statements. These are not prior consistent statements.
Okay.
At all. The state is saying it's prior.
So he's saying that they are not prior consistent statements. So if he does not argue that they're not prior consistent statements, then if they are prior consistent statements under a hearsay exception, then they are allowed. Okay. So that's why he's saying they are not prior consistent statements. Okay.
Inconsistent statements. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're really prior consistent statements that they wish to get in, because Mr. Copeland really is not inconsistent. He said, yes, I probably said these things, but I said them because I was motivated to get out of jail. So the state is relying on inconsistency. I believe that they're really relying on consistency, and I join Mr. Harvey about it's not proper for a prior consistent statement.
All right, sir. Okay.
And you probably, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your evidence, the opponent's evidence, to be ruled improper, right? By trying to assert that it is one thing when it could be possibly another. All right. You just try to find something that fits exactly what your argument can be, right? What you can turn it into be, because these are statements. All right. There is a lot of wiggle room which you can pick from or whatever to, try to make your argument to try to get stuff in or out. All right. So, and he's trying to say that Mr. Copeland isn't inconsistent. He is saying, and if he is, so if he is deemed to be consistent, then it calls into question whether or not the tape can be entered as extrinsic evidence to prove the facts and or the elements in the case. Remember, we went over that. So all of this is just little tug and pulls and shit like that. It's just pretty much you're trying to get the damning shit, kind of keep it out, or anything that would give the advantage to the prosecutors. So, and prosecutors are going to be doing, vice versa. Now, and I'm not just saying this to be saying it, but normally when it comes to the evidence game, normally the prosecutors are more accurate because they're going to go, by the rules to try to get it in. They're going to go directly by the rules, more than likely, okay? The defense is going to try to get around that. All right. So, and they're going to try to maybe change the meaning of what the defendant said. Not change the words, but change the meaning. Play around with, well, was he, when he said, I don't recall it, I don't know, was he inconsistent? Or is he saying, I don't know, and all of that, whatever. And which is going to cause the judge to parse those things, right? So, and but this is actually the truth. So that's why you see, normally the prosecutors usually get their evidence in, right? And the defense,
In considering 411:30 or thereabouts to 412:35, the court is in agreement. At least it's a impeachment by contradiction, for the reasons that the state's proffered. Whether or not the issue of snitching is relevant before the jury, and whether or not that is an issue that several witnesses have testified to, would be relevant. So, but the court's primary ruling is based upon impeachment by contradiction. So that will be authorized to be inquired into. All right. Let's turn now to 425 to 425:33. Casey talking about Shannon beefing with IG people. You can flesh it out.
So just a little context, Your Honor. This is after. Obviously, this is after the episode of Mr. Copeland being shot at outside his house. It's also after a January is, I believe, making reference to Mr. Stillwell having issues with some of Mr. Copeland's enemies on Instagram. My objection to this is that this is based, Mr. Copeland's in jail, and it's unclear how he's aware of this, but apparently he's been told about Mr. Stillwell having back and forth with these individuals. From my recollection, I've been through all the discovery numerous times. I don't recall in discovery seeing any of this alleged back and forth during this time frame involving my client on Instagram. So I haven't seen any documentary proof of any of this, so I don't know exactly what Mr. Copeland is referring to, but from my understanding of the context of the statement, Mr. Copeland is merely passing on hearsay information about what Shannon is doing on Instagram. Okay. Mr. Copeland does not have access to Instagram, obviously, as he's making these statements.
All right, can I hear it? And what transcript page is this from?
It's going to be page 47, but page 47 line 9 through page 48 line 15. But I do think for context, need to start at 424, which is gonna be page 45, line 25. Page 45, line 25.
Page 45, line 25?
Yes, Your
Okay. All right, go ahead and play it, please.
I tell you what, I'm not about this. I'm not like, I didn't see no face. It did. When I see him jump out the car, kind of favored somebody. Who? The boy that was shooting at my house. Who? Who? Who you know to be driving that silver Bonneville? I could never picture that. That's something I could never get. So who do you favor? Say. Your friend Tay? Which Tay? Well, you are my partner at the moment. Where you from? Simpson. You from Simpson? How can I find Tay? He's on Twitter arguing with Shane. He did what? He's on Twitter arguing with Shane. He on Twitter arguing with Shane? This recent? Yeah. When? Right when y'all came and got me, I was just on the phone with my baby mom. She just told. So him and Shannon on Twitter arguing? They been arguing. About what? Me. Saying it. You still alive because we miss you. You still alive because we miss you? Like they miss maybe shooting at you? When did you see this person, like before the incident the other day with your baby? Before the incident with you and your baby, you said the dude was shooting at my house. Which incident are you talking about? Huh? You said the same boy that was shooting at my house. Okay, which?
Can you write within that 425, 49?
Okay. Yes.
So it said, I heard it, and I'm assuming Your Honor heard it. He says Tay, and they're trying to figure out who Tay is.
Which Tay?
The Tay, I don't know which Tay at this point.
Okay.
So there's a Tay that allegedly shot at Mr. Copeland, or that's the state's theory, and Mr. Copeland is saying Tay, but he's not identifying Tay. And he says something about that Tay is having an argument with Shannon on Instagram, and then he was like, when is this happening, is what Investigator Gaither asked. And Mr. Copeland says, essentially now, or when I got locked up. And he said, that's what my baby mama told me. So it's clear his source of information is someone else who's telling him about this alleged internet argument, and he doesn't have any personal knowledge of it.
All right, sir.
It adds absolutely nothing to the context of this statement, other than it brings in hearsay evidence about my client, which I object to.
All right.
You're right, the section about Twitter, we won't play, we'll just pick that up when Detective Gator's trying to clarify, like an issue, when was he shooting at you? You should try to clarify that portion, but we will take out, I think it's probably about 425.
425.31 to what?
No, 425 to 425.
Okay, 420. 425.20.
No, 425.00
Yes, ma'am.
to 425. I think it's about 31 or 30.
31, 32. That's what you said you're going to take out? Because that talks about the Twitter conversation. All right. Mr. Sharp, anything else from that particular time block that you wish to be omitted?
No.
All right, any other counsel wish to be heard about anything from 425:00 to 425:33? Mr. Weinstein.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Matthews.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. T. Williams. Mr. Harvey. All right, Mr. Steele.
No, nothing further.
Okay, all right. So the state will be directed to omit that particular portion. The rest of it can be played. All right, let's move on to 6, and that would be.
This next is it's a
Hold on, let me just frame it right quick, sir. 438:35 to 438:40, and you've indicated that Casey saying that he has not hung out with Shannon Lil D since they shot the car. Confusing under 403 is a pronoun they is meant to refer to people shooting at Casey, Shannon Lil D, but could be misconstrued.
right.
Okay.
So
Right.
essentially, they are asking about when's the last time he hung out with Shannon and Lil D, who's Demekion Garlington, and he says not since they shot at the car. I think any reasonable interpretation of that, based on someone who's spent hundreds, probably thousands of hours reviewing the discovery in this case, which I have and the defense counsel has, any reasonable interpretation would mean he's referring to is the people that shot at him, Shannon, and Lil D in the car on January 27th. I believe it was the day before the statement on the 28th. However, the jurors have not gone through all the discovery 10 times over as the defense has. So they have limited knowledge of everything. And when you listen to the statement in a vacuum, the reasonable interpretation is he hasn't hung out with Shannon and Lil D since they shot at the car, which makes it seem like Shannon and Little D were shooting at a car. It's confusion of the issues. It's likely to mislead the jury. And again, Your Honor, this is another one of those things I said earlier. This is not a normal trial. Yes, theoretically, first of all, there's no need to bring this confusion into this trial. So there's no prosecutorial need for this little excerpt to be played. But sure, theoretically, we could clear this up during cross-examination under normal trial circumstances. But when this is played, there's going to be several days in between that time where the jurors are likely to have in their head, if they're scrutinizing every line, oh, wait, Shannon and Lil D were shooting at a car, and that's going to affect the way they look at my client. And when, in fact, we can just clear that up at the time of him saying it by deleting it, as opposed to me having to come back days later and try to clarify and draw everyone's attention back to this incident and this statement. So I just think under 403, to avoid confusion of the issues, we could easily just redact this little segment and clear up any potential confusion.
And Your Honor, before I even play it, the state understands what Mr. Copeland is talking about when he says when they shot at the car. The state has no intention of alluding that the they is Mr. Garlington and Mr. Stilwell trying to shoot at Mr. Copeland. And when I read this portion, I'm going to play for the court the entirety of that section, because I think in order to understand this section in context, you have to start at 438:14, because there's already evidence, or will be before this video is played, that there was a shooting on the highway in which Mr. Copeland was involved in. And the state in no way, shape, or form intends to infer that Mr. Demekion Garlington or Mr. Stilwell was trying to shoot at Mr. Copeland. That's not even something we thought of.
Can
And
you-
so we'll play the whole section so you can hear it in context.
Fine. Can I get the page references?
Yes,
too,
Your
please,
Honor.
madam?
We're going to start at, it's going to be roughly page 64. And I'm starting at 438.14, so it should be around line 2 on 438, on page 64, line 2. And it will go through page 65, line 1.
All right, madam. All right, let me hear it, please.
In that fucking river with them, period. This is what is going on. These two people I be with, they're gonna be Shannon and Lil D. When I'm in with Shannon, me and Lil D together all the time. That's exactly. You know, Shannon still with Mickey on guards. Yeah. They me and him together all the time. Them only two I been with. Since they started their car, I've been in the house with my baby mama. If I ain't in the house, though, we don't got to hug it. And I don't call Quay. Quay don't can't pick that up, and we just rolled around here.
So we stopped it at 438.46. So in context, he's talking about the last time since they were shot at in the car. Well, before we played this interview, we would have played the January 28th interview where he's going to talk about the fact that they were shot at in the car in January 28th. And so when you read those two in conjunction with each other, I believe the jury will understand that he's saying since they got shot at the car, I've been in the house, given the full context. And again, the state will not infer that the they is Demekion, Mr. Garnis, and Mr. Stillwell shooting at Mr. Copeland.
Okay.
When I said the defense attorney's been spending a lot of time with this case, also the state has. I mean, they have a background understanding. Both sides have a background understanding that's through discovery that's deeper than what the jury has at this moment. And that this line adds nothing to the understanding of the case. But, you know, I just listened to it again. I was thinking maybe I missed something. He says there's no discussion of other people shooting at the car. They said, when's the last time you hung out with Shannon and Lil D? Not since they shot at the car. I mean, it sounds like my client shot at a car.
Well, it has to be taken in context because the jury's already heard about some purportedly shooting. Okay.
Yeah, but
I understand your concern under 403. I respectfully disagree at this point, but
okay.
I mean, because I don't think it would confuse them. But anyways, anybody else wish to be heard on this issue? Mr. Weinstein? No, Your Honor. All right, Mr. Matthews? No, Your Honor. Ms. D. Williams? Mr. Harvey? Mr. Steele?
Nothing further.
Okay, all right. I'm going to admit it are allowed to be played over objection. I'll still give you a continuing objection, okay? All right. Let's turn to number 7. And number 7 is 60325 to 60605. And you...
By the way, it's page 155, line 1 through 156, line 2. 155, line 1 through 156, line 24.
So
Okay, Mr. Short. All right, let me frame the period. It's 60325 to 60605. It alleges Casey talking about Kel shooting and at some dice
At a gambling spot,
gambling spot.
which I believe under the state's theory is kind of one of the incidents that's the genesis of everything, of the disagreements between the groups. And my objection is that Kenneth Copeland is basically telling the police that Kel shot up the gambling spot, but even in his own statement, his identification of Kel, now let me be clear, he does say he was there, so it's not that he wasn't there, but from my understanding of his statement, he didn't know, no one knew who shot up the gambling spot. No one identified Kel, who's Kelvin Watts at the time, but afterwards, apparently, according to Mr. Copeland, Kelvin Watts told his girlfriend, or a girl that he knew at the time, whose name's Trevia, about what had happened, and apparently made some confession, according to Mr. Copeland. And then Trevia tells Kenneth Copeland. So it's double hearsay, and certainly even if Kelvin Watts to Trevia would fall under a hearsay exception, Trevia to Kenneth Copeland would not fall under a hearsay exception. So it's hearsay, and he doesn't have a basis of knowledge, and we would object to its admission.
All right, State.
Your Honor, the information about the gambling spot has already come in based on the January 11th interview.
Okay, he said that was double hearsay, so I really didn't hear the statement because I was watching something else. But that's pretty much like it's another statement that has hearsay contained in that. Okay, so it's a statement that has another statement in there that so I don't know exactly what was said, so my bad.
In which Kel discusses, if not January 11th, February 20th, but the two interviews that have already been played before the jury, Mr. Copeland has already said in both of those interviews that there was this incident at the gambling house in Lakewood, and that it was Kel who did it. And more importantly, when he met with Kel at the Cascade skating ring, maybe the next day after this gambling incident, that he talked to Kel about the shooting at the gambling house, and that it was during that meeting at the Cascade skating ring that Kel got on the phone with Mr. Williams, and Mr. Williams asked for Kel to pay for the window that was shot up at the gambling house. So one, the evidence is already before the jury about the gambling house. How we get to who told him is irrelevant, because it was the effect on the listener, meaning Mr. Copeland, that once he gathered this information, he's using this to try to squash the issues between Copeland and Kel. And so when he's relaying to Detective Gaither the beginning of the conflict between him and Copeland, he's just now reiterating how he got the information that Kel did it and what effect that had on the issues between the two of them. So who told Mr. Copeland that it was Kel is irrelevant to the sole fact that he thought it was Kel. That was kind of the beginning of their issues with each other. And as a result of knowing that it was Kel who did the shooting, Kel then in turn confronts Copeland Copeland in turn confronts Kel about this shooting. And during the course of his confrontation of Kel, also had a conversation between Kel and Mr. Williams about the shooting that occurred. So this portion as to how he found out it was Kel is not, while hearsay is really effect on the listener, but this is already information that's before the jury. But it's important, Your Honor, because let me say this, that defense counsel is arguing that Copeland consistently lies. What this shows is that Copeland's giving the same series of events to multiple different investigators at multiple different interviews. And so that shows that at least back in 2015, when he's recounting his history with him and Kel, he's telling different investigators these same series of events that occur leading up to the murder of Donovan Thomas. But I'll play the section for you if you want to.
All right, sir. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
And I'm going to start at 6:03:22.
But that's what it was about. Then they got mad. Ladie got jumped in the club by NBC. They tell Ladie, we ain't help you because you be with them. They asked Ladie, why they ain't help you?
You got too much shit going on. I don't know why.
It was, no, but the whole time come back on kill them because this is a gambling house we go hang it and gambling. We go down and gamble. We come out the league. Kill them in the bush. Kill Stewart. And they never mentioned the third person name. In the bush, they started showing me that they shot so many times. Shit, I was glad to hear that. Huh?
Who came out?
In Lakewood. They shot so many times. They shot down everybody caught. But they missed everybody. They graded one person because of bad. But when police can't hear, left. Co-people left. But they don't care. But this is the same like NBC jumped on Ladie. So they did that, make it seem like NBC did. But I go over and going home. I stayed out about 2 or 3 years. So I was telling them like, damn, bro, y'all niggas come on there, y'all trying to kill me, what's up, bro? And they like, hell nah, bro, you tripping? Like, bro, we ain't see that y'all did with one of the NBC niggas. Like, bro, we ain't got no problem with that, bro, you feel me? Y'all jumped on Ladie be with me, bro. I'm on the stage, I'm like, nah, bro, y'all tripping, bro. In my palm, bro, nah. They keep trying to get in each other's face. But nah, and everything else, Big Boo came up there, and one of them niggas on Swarm, grabbed Ladie out stage, started jumping on Ladie. I ain't know it was Ladie, I don't think they wanted them jumping on them. So I walk out the club, see Ladie, him got shot in the hand, and he bleeding and shit. Oh, what happened to you, bro? And he couldn't talk. He like, and I was seeing the hammer, but damn, they shot you too. So he went and got hammer down. He went to the hospital. So I had to tell him mama what happened. And Pinky went down there with him. Goddamn, the next night we at the gambling house. They ain't not putting no pictures. We in that gambling. They take pictures and shit. Then he came up there and shot at it. We found out who killed. He had got into a Gucci Red. And she was talking to them. She came back and told her, like, man, they were killed and shot at y'all, mixing like they did. Because they shot at it, and they went and shot at Monday spot. Monday we got into it with the NBC name. They bumped, boom. They how they fight started. They went shot at their house on Metro Pies. Shot house on those rooms. Okay.
And it ends at 6:06:07.
So to put a little context to what you just heard, this gambling spot was shot up, according to Mr. Copeland. It was assumed that it was people from a group called NBC, because according to Mr. Copeland, Mr. Kendrick had gotten into some sort of dispute with someone from NBC around that time, is what Mr. Copeland's saying. I don't know if that's true or
Mr.
not.
Kendrick or Mr. Garlington?
Mr. Kendrick. I think he says Monte. I'm assuming Mr. Kendrick. Maybe someone else named Monte. And I don't know if any dispute occurred. But what he's saying is it was assumed it was NBC. And then through hearsay, it came out that it was Kel. Through hearsay, through trivia. And so our stance is that's hearsay. Effect on the listener is much narrower an exception to hearsay than the state's been putting forward in this case. Throughout this case, they've been relying on effect on the listener quite a bit. I don't believe that it's quite as easy to get around the hearsay rules under just saying effect on listener, and his knowledge, he's giving a historical narrative of this event, and his knowledge of who committed the event or committed the act is based entirely on hearsay. So we
Okay, what about the issue that we've heard testimony already about the gambling?
then
house
it's
and the
cumulative.
shooting- And the shooting of the gambling house.
Well, if we've allowed that in the past, then that's on the defense counsel for not flagging that. But at this point, it's cumulative if it's come in already.
I believe it's already been testified to. In fact, I think Mr. Copeland earlier in his direct he's testified about that on the stand, about the shooting of the gambling house and this kind of historical perspective.
At this point, then it's cumulative, and if collectively we have missed it in the past, we're flagging it now.
Okay. All right. Any further argument, Mr. Weinstein?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor, just adopt.
Ms. T. Williams? Mr. Harvey? Sir? Turn your mic on, sir, please.
I want to adopt what Mr. Shart said with regard to the effect on the listener. Effect on the listener is usually most often used to as evidence of motive. It has not been used in that sense, and therefore it has been abused and continues to be abused as the basis for the admission of these clearly hearsay statements. So, for example, in Gates versus the state at 298 Georgia 324.
One more time, Gates.
298 Georgia.
All right.
324.
Yes, sir.
There were text messages admitted that were sent to the defendant's girlfriend, not for their truth, but for the effect on the defendant in establishing motive for a murder. That's the usual basis upon which hearsay statements are admitted for the effect on the hearer. That is not the case here. This is not the defendant. It doesn't establish motive. So I would adopt and expand Mr. Shart's reasoning.
All right, sir. Mr. Steele.
Nothing to add.
All right, sir. Excuse me.
want to respond to what Mr. Harvey said, and so I.
All right, folks, we're going to take a comfort break. Let's take 5 minutes to come back. I'll make a ruling at that point in time on 7, okay?
And Your Honor, before the state did want to respond to what Mr. Harvey said, and so I didn't know if we could get an opportunity to do that prior to the court's ruling.
Okay. All right, we're in recess.
Offer in evidence to prove the
You said you had a response to Mr. Harvey's comment.
Yes, Your Honor, very briefly. In looking at Gates, Your Honor, specifically the portion in which they talk about the effect on the listener, yes, this was a murder case, but what it says, and this is in Division
2?
2.
I have it up.
Yes. And when you read the fullness of it, it says, for a statement of constitutional hearsay, it must be offered in evidence to prove the truth of the matter asserted. And it cites the statute. Here, the declaring statement at issue was, you're ever lonely, you can call me. The text message sent along with the naked pictures was not offered to prove that Gates' girlfriend could in fact call or had permission to call Wilson if she were lonely. Rather, the text messages were offered to show its effect on Gates and his and in this case, his motive for committing the murder. An utterance may be admitted to show the effect on its hearer. See also Miller v. State, 275 Georgia 32. For such a purpose, the statement would not be hearsay, as it was not offered for the truth of the matter asserted, but for the effect or lack thereof on the hearer. As such, Gates claims that this evidence was inadmissible because it was hearsay without merit. Here, again, Your Honor, learning about the fact that Kell shot at the gambling house, what Copeland took with that information is he confronted Kell about it. They had a discussion about not just the gambling house, but all their other issues that they had with each other. And then furthermore, during this interaction, which was, I believe, the next day after the gambling house or some time later, Mr. Williams then speaks to Kell about that shooting that happened at the gambling house, and specifically about paying for the window. So again, Your Honor, it's not about what, and I believe it's Gucci Red. I think Mr. Shar said it was Trivia who said it, but I believe he said Gucci Red told us it was Kell. That information is what he used to confront Kell about about what happened at the gambling house. So that's what the state wanted to add.
What's your response to the defense's assertion as well as cumulative? Because it's been testified.
Because, Your Honor, defense counsel assertion is that Mr. Copeland lies about everything. And so what his reiteration of this incident shows is that not just in the February interview, not just in the January interview, January 11th, he talks about it, I think, briefly in January 28th and February 20th, that he's reiterating these events to different investigators to talk about the history of what has occurred between them. And if he's such a liar as they want to purport him to be, then he would not be able to recount this historical perspective to the detectives that he is meeting with. So while he is repeating the story, he's repeating it to different detectives at different times to show that he is at least consistent with the historical events that lead up to Donovan Thomas's murder.
All right. Okay. All right, counsels, I've had an opportunity to consider your arguments as well as take a look at Gates 298 Georgia at 324, as well as Garner versus the state at 342 Georgia Appeals 824. Both of them stand for the same proposition about effect on listeners. So I'm going to permit the the inquiry area of 60325 to 60. Hold on. Get back. Hold on. (60325) through 60605. All right. I'll give you a continuing objection, defense counsels, as respect to that. Let's move on to 8. I believe 8 is 6/19/20 through 6/20/20. And I believe that is Casey being reluctant to cooperate in the shooting investigation where he's a victim. He says he's concerned they will put the discovery on IGS, or Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me the page references, Mal?
Yes, Your Honor. So page 173, line 7 through page 174, line.
Okay. All right. Mr. Sharp?
So, Your Honor, here is another example of Mr. Copeland stressing the social ramifications of cooperating in this investigation. Again, when I say this investigation, I'm referring to an investigation against people that shot at him allegedly outside of his house while holding his child. It get into this, it's almost bolstering. It is bolstering, where he's showing a a fear of testifying, but again, it has nothing to do with these gentlemen. It has nothing to do with the investigation of these gentlemen seated in court today, but it has to do with an entirely different group of individuals from that are allegedly associated with an entirely different group. So it has no relevance to this case. It creates the impression that Mr. Copeland is universally opposed to cooperating, universally fearful, universally has been threatened and feels threatened. But the reality is he's expressing fear, reluctance, and all the rest regarding an investigation of an entirely different group of individuals. And it's likely to confuse the issues. It's unfair prejudice towards our clients where there's absolutely no evidence that he's been fearful, that he's been threatened by any of these gentlemen or anyone associated with these gentlemen. So we would argue that it should be excluded under 401 and 403.
All right, madam, can you play it, please?
And Your Honor, I'll start at 6/19/40.
You know my name?
Six 19.
In that car that's gonna put them there. Like you worried about the wrong thing. Like, I'm worried about when you get locked up and you get a skirt back and see I circle each picture and put my name on them. He gonna send it out to the screen and be like, I done told on him. And they gonna put it on Instagram and Twitter and they gonna tell everybody. And then guess what? They gonna start like, then I'm gonna be just like what then? Nobody won't be around. So you worried about your reputation as opposed to your life and being a free man? It's up to you. I don't want to go back and forth. You gonna do it, Woody, or you not?
And Your Honor, that's the conclusion at 6/19/44. And Miss we started at 6/19/06. And Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes, ma'am. What's the state's response to Mr. Chardon and the defense attorney saying that violates 401 and 403?
So again, Your Honor, one, this is a impeachment by contradiction. Again, in court, Mr. Copeland has said repeatedly that they forced him to pick out Tay, and that he was not afraid of snitching or telling the police who did it, but that Tay did not do it. So one, this is a contradiction to both of those assertions that he made in court. Here, again.
So again, Woody has created more problems for both sides. Boy, this is going to be interesting. They're gonna be like, I don't know how much video they have and how many other statements they have, but that's it. That's going to take up quite some time. And I see why the state just wanted to play it all instead of going through and picking them out by segments. Okay. In the long run, that's more work, but it'll be safer, as far as their case, and they can make sure that nothing comes in that should not come in. But on the other hand, the defense, when you have all those moving parts and variables that can affect the outcome and so on and so forth, you got to be real careful. Because although I'm confident in Judge Glanville's ability, I don't know if he will be able to catch everything. You understand what I'm saying? And that's gonna be a long ass trial. And if there is a conviction, you don't want that shit come back on appeal because man, nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. But hey, Byron, welcome. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, honey. I'm just letting you know, baby, we get a little rough over here, okay? We cover a lot of stuff. But yeah.
And for the totality of the case, Mr. Copeland, back in 2015, and we believe even now, does not want to come to court to testify against whether it was Tay or these individuals. So this shows, one, he contradicted his testimony as to what he did back in 2015 as it relates to Tay. And then two, it shows not that he's fearful that anyone's going to harm him, because the state has never asserted that any of the defendants were going to harm him. What the state has asserted is that he does not want to come and testify against them. And this is a prime example of that. So for those two reasons, we believe that this portion should come in. Additionally, Your Honor, when Mr. Shar says this had nothing to do with this case, that is not true. What Mr. Copeland is talking about in this interview is a retaliatory shooting that occurred as a result of Donovan Thomas being murdered. So again, putting this all in context, Mr. Thomas was shot and killed on January 10th. Over the course of about 6 to 8 weeks, there are multiple shootings. We went over that yesterday, Your Honor. And one of the final shootings was on February 19th when these group of individuals that were associated with If Gang shot at him, his child, and his baby. And they're trying to get him to identify who one of those individuals were. So it does have something to do with this case. It has something to do with the overall retaliatory shootings that occurred as a result of Mr. Thomas being murdered. And again, in this section, he talks specific about having to come to court. Like that was his concern here. Like I have to come to court and I'm going to have to testify about this. He was concerned about doing that. And Your Honor, we believe that that is also why he's changing his testimony in court today. Court during this trial.
Any further argument, Mr. Weinstein?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. D. Williams? Mr. Harvey?
Nothing there.
Mr. Steele?
Nothing.
Okay, all right. All right, in considering both sides' arguments in regards to defense 401 being relevance, 403 being unduly prejudicial, and the state's assertion that is impeachment by contradiction, the court does find it is relevant that even using 403 as a balancing test, it is more probative than prejudicial and shows impeachment by contradiction. So I'm going to allow it over defense objection, and I'll give you a continuing objection in regards to that. All defense counsel. All right, let's cover number 9. Number 9 is 626:30 through 627:05. And as you framed it, Gaither gives speech about the need to put an end to the shootings. All right, sir, go ahead.
I was going to,
You want to play it?
yeah, can we just play it and then?
Yes. And Your Honor, it's page 181 lines 8 through 12. I'm gonna start a little earlier at 6:26:22.
I can't deal with this shit, bro. And I understand that, but you gotta help you right now. We trying to get a stop to all this back and forth shooting. You trying to back and forth shooting? Gee, they only shoot. Well, shooting at you. Shit. We trying to get a stop to this. And we pulling every resource in the city, but we can't be everywhere. So if I gotta pick these motherfuckers off one by one, waiting on evidence to come back, yeah, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, but you fuck it, I'm doing it. Damn, man. Why I gotta go through this, man? I don't know, but I'm into it. Bruh, I'm ready to get started on the aftermath. I'm ready to get started on that. I can't work towards homicide. I'm picking up the pieces of the aftermath for the homicide. Here.
Your Honor, we stopped at 6:27:30.
So, Your Honor,
All right, sir.
my objection, again, these statements are allegedly prior statements. I mean, the reason we're playing for the jury over our objection, the defense objection, is because they're prior statements by Mr. Copeland. We have the non-declarant, Investigator Gaither, just talking about the need to end the shootings and how she's going to end the shootings, and the city's putting every resource into ending the shootings. And it really, we're all citizens here. We're all city of Atlanta. We're all Atlantans. It's not the city versus these gentlemen. It's not supposed to be the police force in the city versus these gentlemen. And it's supposed to be a neutral. And that's the impression that the jury is given when they're exposed to, again, this speech. I call it a speech, but whatever you want to call it, by Investigator Gaither, where she presents this as, look, it's, the city and all the authorities and the police department, we're all working to try to put an end to these shootings, and it's you guys and Mr. Copeland, it's your information that will put an end to it, and it's your group that's involved in all this. I believe it's inappropriate. I believe that it invites the jurors to consider, it invites them to take into consideration factors that should not be considered in that jury room. And it's essentially an improper argument. If it was made during closing, we would argue that it's an improper argument. Just because it's not a closing argument doesn't make it not improper. It's improper for the jurors to hear that type of talk by Investigator Gaither, especially considering the whole reason that this tape is being played over our objection is not for Investigator Gaither's words, but for Mr. Copeland's.
All right. Ms. Hilton.
Again, you have to look at this in totality, Your Honor. This starts off with Mr. Copeland saying, why do I have to go through this, man? And Gaither is then going into, I need you to do this. I need you to identify who it is so that I can get started on my investigation. So I can continue my investigation. I can continue my work. So while Mr. Sharp calls it a speech, she's responding to Mr. Copeland saying, why do I have to go through this? And if you look at his body language, he was struggling to move forward and just make the identification. And so she's trying to encourage him to go ahead and make the identification so that she can move forward with her investigation, Your Honor. So again, as the state said earlier, that's in contradiction to what he said here in court. What he said in court, they were forcing him. No, they were talking to him about it. He's responding back to her. I believe in court he may have said they made him say Tay. That's not true. That's what this shows as well. And so given his in-court testimony, this is contradicting what he said here in court.
All right. Any further argument, Mr. Weinstein? All right, Mr. Matthews.
Nothing, Cat.
Ms. D. Williams. Mr. Harvey. Mr. Steele.
Your Honor, I don't see why this adds anything. I join everyone else, Mr. Sharp's argument. The detectives said we're going to pick them off one by one. Every officer is going to be working. The state is saying that Detective Gaither is encouraging Mr. Copeland. That's not needed. That's not the purpose. We don't just play recordings of me speaking with a witness to say I was encouraging the witness. This is just an out-of-court statement offered to bolster the detective, and that's really not appropriate in my opinion, and it's irrelevant under 401(2), and then 3 would be waste of time. A lot of this, the state wants to play, these are, I believe, 18 hours of recordings. I mean, at some point, they don't get to just play all these recordings, so I would object.
And I can respond to Mr. Steele specifically, if the court may.
Yeah, I'm in trying to kind of see why Detective Gaither, before it starts, we're trying to stop this. We're pulling every resource in the city. We can't be everywhere. So if I gotta pick these motherfuckers off one by one, waiting on evidence to come back, then I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But you gotta I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm doing it. I'd be inclined to take that out, but the other stuff would be admissible under impeachment by contradiction or relevant.
So which line, Your Honor?
Line 8 on page 181, line 8 through line 12.
Okay. That's fine, Your Honor.
It does. I agree with Mr. Steele. It doesn't really add anything to it, and it's for the reasons he mentioned. Okay.
Okay. So line 8 to 12. We can
Yes.
this, Your Honor.
Anybody else have any other comment or any other argument in regards to number 9, 62630 or thereabouts is 62730? All right. I'm gonna, other than that particular omission, or exclusion from, that'd be page 181, using the state's transcript, lines 8 through 12. The rest is can be played.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I'll again admit an over objection and give a continuing objection. Does the defendant still maintain that none of this is proper and they should not be played? So, okay. All right. Number 10. And number 10 is 630. 30 through 63150, and you are saying that that's 404A evidence about Mr. Stillwell and inappropriate comments about character.
Yeah, 404A and B.
404A and B. Okay. All right, sir. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hill.
You want to play it first?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right, let's play it. What transcript pages, madam?
The other portion will be page 185, line 17, through page 186, line 19. And we'll start 630.
630 what?
She wasn't looking at it serious like how it is. I really wasn't. I really thought they wasn't. I didn't think they would do it. I didn't think they knew to try to shoot me. I'm pretty sure I thought we really would try to do what kill. They showed me wrong. Well, I know him for shit. He been on Twitter going back and forth with him. Yeah. What the hell? I'm telling Shannon, why the hell you ugly even go to it? What's Shannon been up to? Because I know he ain't just gonna sit and let it ride like you getting shot at and all that. I know that. And you know I told Shannon, man, let Polly deal with him. I'm man, he'll pay himself. You know what Shannon told me that night? The night they shot me in bed. You looked at him like, I was crying. And he looked at me like, man, bro, hell nah, bro. We take that keep can. I'm like, bro, fuck this shit, bro. Let them have it, bro. Let them have it, bro. They kill me, bro. You know what's going on, bro. Just it. Start with it. Lieutenant Shannon, police involved with it. Just start with it, bro. We ain't going to jail, so we ain't do, bro. You're not going to tell you one of these folks think we did this shit. And that's what I told him. He like, she looked at it. She like, bro, I'm telling you, bro. If they kill you or they hurt you or they, bro, they got to kill him, too. Just like him, bro. They don't get your shell out of it, bro. We already in the battle pay. We with people we never thought we'd be with, bro. Fuck this shit, bro. Let them have it. That's why I really ain't getting in there. If I didn't, like, I feel like.
And stop at 6:31. So sorry, stop at 6:31:51.
All right, Mr. Sharp.
So this testimony or this out-of-court statement by Mr. Copeland about my client has absolutely no relation to any charged conduct in this case. It's propensity evidence. There's no evidence of something that happened that I know of. There's no evidence of something that happened after this date that was supposedly done on behalf of Mr. Copeland in as payback for either the January 28th shooting of Mr. Copeland in the car, or shooting at Mr. Copeland in the car, or the February, I guess it would be 19th shooting of Mr. Copeland, or shooting at Mr. Copeland outside of his house, other than, of course, Mr. Copeland shooting back at those individuals and hitting them in their car. My point being, Mr. Copeland is essentially saying that Shannon has encouraged him to and said, we need to get payback for them shooting at you. And Mr. Copeland saying, no, I said, let it be, let it be, let it be. This is not testimony about any act that's charged. This is mere propensity evidence that Mr. Stillwell is someone that when something's done to him or one of his friends, he's going to seek retribution from the other side. And again, if the state had a overact, and I'm making this up, that happened on March 3rd of 2015, where they allegedly saw the car that was shooting at them on January 28th, then I would say, okay, maybe that has some relevance to this specific act. But there's no act that's charged. And what the state wants, essentially the logical conclusion based on hearing that is Mr. Stillwell is, a hothead that seeks revenge. That's propensity evidence. That's exactly what's not supposed to come in under 404B. And so I would object. It's improper character evidence. It's improper propensity evidence.
All right, sir.
Yeah, we won't play it.
Okay. I'm going to use Mr. Adams' favorite saying, easiest decision I'll make today. All right. Anybody else have any other comment about subpart 10, 630, 30 through 631.50? It's going to be omitted. Anyone? All right. Okay, we've gotten through the flaggings of Mr. Sharp. Does anybody else have any other time periods they wish to discuss with the court? Mr. All right, thank you, Mr. Steele. Mr. Harvey? Ms. D. Williams? Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Weinstein?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
When I say no, it's with reference to my continued objection for severance and instructions with regard to all of this evidence. I don't want that to be deemed to be a waiver on the record.
Okay, Mr. Harvey, in no way, I'll note it again for you that you have moved for severance and for 105 instruction, which the court is going to give you a continuing objection on, but I'm going to deny that at this time again, okay? All right, sir. Okay. All right, councils, let's talk a little bit about way ahead in scheduling. I believe that you all have, as well as it pertains to Mr. Copeland, June the 10th interview, which is the longest one. It's 9 hours. Is that correct? All right. Have you all been working on, or I'm going to ask the state first and then defense counsels in terms of what you've identified as to what you're going to play and what you wish to omit?
Your Honor, we sent to defense counsel, I believe on Monday, the areas in which the state, I'm sorry, let me stand up. The areas in which the state intends to redact. Yesterday evening, Mr. Shard, I think, sent me a portion of the areas that they would like redacted. We haven't had the opportunity to look at those. And then I believe Mr. Adams is supposed to send me the secondary portion of that. And so we'll be looking through that over the course of today and this weekend to determine what, if any, areas we can agree to. Once we finish talking about June, Your Honor, I will briefly just want to get some clarity on February 21st, but after we finish the June discussion.
What do you mean you want clarity on the
So we submitted
21st?
We submitted some redactions for February 21st. And I don't know if, kind of along the same lines of the conversation yesterday, if there are areas that the defendants wanted in that the state intended to redact. And if there are those same line of area, we understand the court's ruling from yesterday, but we just wanted clarity because we don't know. And it could be an offline conversation I can have with Mr. Shard to see
I think
what their position is.
I think I can answer this. After speaking with other attorneys involved in the defense of other individuals, I believe that there is an objection to the redactions of the timestamps identified by the state. We understand that the state, in their presentation of the case, they may choose not to present some of these excerpts when they play the tape.
Which tape are we referring to?
February 21st, 2015.
All right.
But I believe that the defense is going to seek to admit portions that the state is not going to seek to admit.
And certainly that, I mean, we can have a similar discussion that we had yesterday, or I can authorize, unless there's been a specific objection, I'm going to say you can play it during cross-examination. Like similar to what I did yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. And that's fine, Your Honor. We'll object at the appropriate time.
Yeah, if appropriate, yeah, I'll rule upon it. But I'm most of the things that, unless there's clear argument to the contrary, will be fair game on cross. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's talk about the June 10th interview. So is it possible for you all to, like, consistent with, this has been very helpful for you all to identify the time periods and for us to work down through them and have discussion one way or another? Are you all in a position to potentially put something together by Monday, and so we can kind of go through the June 10th interview?
The good news is we're all operating off the same transcript for June 10th, and there is a transcript. I believe the transcript's about 550 pages. I made it through 380, and I've identified the specific spots that I object to, and I believe that other attorneys involved in this case adopt my arguments for those first 380. Mr. Adams is diligently working. He's identified the rest, and he is going to send that information over to the state at some point. I don't want to speak for him, but I know he's been working on it. So I think that the state has given us their proposed redactions, correct?
Correct, Your Honor, but I think we're going to be in the same position. So we really need their redactions, because I think the state is, we're going to redact what we're going to redact. And if they choose to want to play certain portions, we can object at the appropriate time. So I think we really need to know what their redactions are in order for us to have a meaningful hearing, hopefully on Monday.
So right now they have about 2/3, just by the transcript length, about 2/3 of the redactions, and then Mr. Adams is going to get them the rest.
Mr. Adams, will you be finished by Monday?
Oh, absolutely. They'll have them by, I can give it to them by Saturday.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we'll work on now as it pertains to, since we'll probably take the most of the day with that, I'm inclined not to call in our juries for Monday.
And Your Honor, I'm going to remind the court that we also have the jail phone calls.
Yes. And there's 11 of those at 2.5 hours. All right, and then, you councilors, you all recall, Tuesday the 25th, we'll probably just work from about 9:30 to about probably shortly thereafter lunch. So my inclination as well, I don't think we're going to probably finish with it's possible that even if we, that we'll spend or exhaust most of Monday the 24th and Tuesday the 25th getting through the 10th and/or 10th of June, as well as the jail calls, and we may not even be finished with those. So I'm inclined to just tell our jurors have a nice week, unless somebody has something to the contrary.
Nothing from the station.
Anybody? Okay. I mean, I just don't think we'll be in a position for them to hear anything at that point. All right. Which leads me to July 1, 2, and 3. More than likely, we'll probably use, if we don't finish up our business with the jail calls, we'll probably take that up on Monday the 1st of July. Tuesday, we'll probably do the in-camera review of Mr. Copeland's ex parte matter. And I will give you all more pinpoint instructions on that particular time and date. But it more than likely will be the 2nd or the 3rd of July. So that's our kind of work schedule at this point in time, to clear those issues before we call back our jurors.
So at this time, we're thinking no jury for the week of going to the 4th.
Probably not, is what I'm thinking. And I may tell them that, so they can adjust they can govern themselves accordingly. But we have a fair amount of stuff to take care of. So, all right. Anything else, councils at this point in time? If not, I'll see you all on Monday, the 24th, 8:30 for an anticipated 9:00 start time. We'll queue up the 10th, the June 10th, 2015 interview and see where that leads us. Okay? All right, anybody else? Okay, all right. We're in recess until Monday the 24th at 8:30.
Okay. Had to get it on the record. Think it was more of the same from what I can hear. I was busy doing stuff, but prior inconsistent statements, impeachment by contradiction, what is it? Double hearsay or hearsay within a hearsay, and again, hearsay is out of court statement offered for the matter asserted in the statement. And remember always that the statement and the facts must be the same. So if I say that she shot me on Tuesday wearing a blue dress, she had to have shot me on Tuesday wearing a blue dress. Okay. What else? Nothing else. But that's all I wanted to get that one on the record. So hopefully I want to come on here tomorrow. Trying to keep up. We jumping in the damn middle of this shit. Whatever. Maybe one day I'll go back to some of them other crazy witnesses. Oh boy. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get out of here. So peace out. Make sure you do some good for yourself and somebody else. Till next time, between time, have a good time. I'll holler.